Welcome again to another episode of I'm Your Prophet. So as we know that there have been some attacks, some targets on the president of Burkina Faso, President Captain Ibrahim Traore. But before that, we've got prophets from Africa who are international prophets who came out and spoke words of encouragement and prayers over him. So I'll leave you to watch what three of these prophets, Prophet Uebert Angel, Wiseman Daniel, and Joshua again, what they said about Ibrahim Traore. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and God bless you and God bless Africa.
They have real money. Right now, the Traore, they offered, I believe it was 3,000, I don't know the exact number of mosques. Saudi Arabia offered 3,000 mosques. Oh, something to that number, to that effect. Thousands of them rather. And he said, my people don't need it, not at this time. And he's Muslim. That's why I like that. Changing his nation. And now America, Cote d'Ivoire, and France are joining hands, clandestine operation to try and kill him. Especially France. At least I can understand America is trying to do business. But France is really trying to kill him. Eliminate him fast. Eliminate him, so you gotta pray for him. It doesn't matter he's Muslim, pray. He's a brother. He's a potential soul that can come to Christ. Pray for him.
The Burkina Faso president I was preaching about, I was in my vision yesterday night to this morning, and God was saying to me, pray for the young man, because what I see, if it happens, the center will not hold. Because I cannot be sitting down in the midst of enemy and I'm still alive. It's just that it means that God kept me. There's nobody who said it aye o le mu. Àfi t'Ọlọ́run bá sọ pé aye o le mu ẹ. We need to pray that it should last, because the sign ahead of him is very black and dark. I'm sincerely speaking, I'm talking from a place of prayer. If allowed, we're going to have one of the best countries in Africa from that place. But will they allow? I'm telling you, that's the wickedness of the world we live in. The children of darkness are wiser than the children of light. We need to pray. Thirdly, we need
France. France should not hatch her plan against this small country. That her eyes are open to step out of darkness into the shining light. God chose to allow me to put most of this way so that you may not understand until it happens. The one that has to come direct will be direct. But the one that has to come to confuse you until it happens will confuse you. That is it. France should not hatch her plan against this small country that her eyes are open to step out of darkness into the shining light. Before France decides to hatch this plan, she should remember that the consequences might be too great for her to bear, because this small country is already drawing sympathy of others who are ready to back her up. We are praying for France. We are praying for France and this African country for peace to reign. Like I'm giving you a clue.
In 2025, Burkina Faso's military junta announced it had thwarted a major plot to overthrow Traore, allegedly orchestrated from neighboring Ivory Coast, a nation long accused by Traore of harboring his enemies. The plot, according to Security Minister Mahamadou Sana, involved ex-army officers and terrorist leaders who planned to storm the presidential palace on April the 16th, aiming to sow total chaos and place Burkina Faso under the supervision of an international organization. But it was the words of General Michael Langley, head of US Africa Command, AFRICOM, that poured fuel on the fire. In a US Senate committee hearing earlier in April, Langley accused Traore of misusing Burkina Faso's nationalized gold reserves to protect his junta at the expense of the Burkinabe people. This was no mere critique. It was a calculated slander, a dog whistle to Western powers itching to destabilize a leader who dares to challenge their hegemony. Langley's words were not just an attack on Traore, they were an assault on Africa's right to self-determination. The response was swift and ferocious. On April the 30th, Ouagadougou's Place de la Revolution became a sea of defiance. Protesters waved Burkina Faso's green, red and yellow flag alongside Russia's, a nod to the junta's pivot away from France and toward new alliances. Banners bore General Langley's image, defaced with the word slave scrawled in red, a stinging rebuke of his perceived servitude to imperialist agendas.